Money coming in on the Chargers. Money coming in on the under. That's right. The Philadelphia Eagles playing the LA Chargers to end week 14 of the NFL. We're going to take that game apart. We're also going to give you bets on every single NBA game on the board, every single NHL game on the board, some college basketball, and we're going to reminisce about the good times known as the Denver Bronco Las Vegas Raiders game. This just in, Joe Ranieri and Steve Merril with me. Joe, I just saw Pete Carroll at the bank. He was cashing his ticket, putting his money away. He's got to feel good about himself right now. Great win, Pete Carroll. Way to go.
Great cover, Pete Carroll. Way to go. Yes.
Win for him. Win for him because he's at the bank.
Awful. Absolutely awful on so many different levels for that game. But listen, like everything else, you draw the line in the sand. Half the people with the Denver tickets are going, you got to be kidding me. Those that had the Raiders say it was never in doubt, Press. Never in doubt.
Never. And I was on the under, guys. The real white guy is Steve Merril. Translucent, but not at the Brian Power level.
No, nobody is at that level.
Yes. Steve, have you ever seen the sun?
Yes, this is something we explain to Prez every time, is that it's the ring light. Yes. In fact, I'll tell you what, Prez, I'll make myself nice and orange for you here.
Oh, look at this. Oh, I like it. There you go.
Now that's dead. That's dead, Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
This is getting there.
That's got
this
some
is
color
sunshine,
now.
Steve.
I like it.
There you go.
Look there. See, I'll be as orange as everybody else for the rest of the show.
Love it.
There you go. That's the spot right
Suntan
there,
for
Joe.
Prez.
Yes.
Joe, I feel like the lighting in Steve Merril's house is, I'm thinking massage.
Look at that, Joe. I got him that quickly off of me onto the lights.
Like
He's
that.
picking on the lights now.
Boom.
I've solved the problem.
Ooh, a squirrel. I love it. Fantastic.
Okay. So, we got a big game tonight.
Yes.
Eagles are in a bit of a free fall. Justin is injured. He is going to play. 74% of the tickets have been written. Of the money is on the over, yet it's coming down. And the money is pretty even, yet we're now seeing a -2 instead of a 2.5. Steve Merril, I'll start with you, my brother. Who do you like in this game?
So I did a standalone video for this game, as I do every week for the Monday Night Football games on Wager Talk TV. And one of the things I pointed out was, yes, the Eagles offense has been struggling. And it almost seems too easy to me, Prez, in this game to just say under, Eagles under. But then the problem is we have so much uncertainty with the Chargers and quarterback Justin Herbert, who is expected to play, but he has a broken left hand. He was limited in practice on Thursday and Friday. In fact, they're going more shotgun formation because they don't want him to have to take that snap under center with that top hand getting the impact of the ball. But it's not his throwing hand. So let's just take them out of the equation. What I gave in the video, and I still like, is the Eagle team total under 21.5. No question, 21 is a key number. We get that working for us in our favor. I'd have to pull it up, but I think like 6 of the last 8 games, the Eagles have scored 21 or less. Seems a little obvious to me here, and it concerns me. But the other thing I'll point out is that the Chargers' defense is better than people realize. If you look at them statistically this year, they've been pretty good when you factor in opponents played. And I think they can hold the Eagles in check. I don't think Philly's necessarily figured anything out here. Chargers on the year giving up just 21 points a game, by the way, and just 5.2 yards per play. And this reminds me of the game last night with the other Super Bowl competitor from last season, the Kansas City Chiefs. Should just play that game under. You know, I got sneaky in my free play video, and I leaned Kansas City. Had a bad feeling about it because I just don't think they're any good. They were a play against team for me all season, the offensive line injuries, but I just didn't want to go under 40.5. Should have gone under. That game was never in doubt with the under. Kansas City's offense is struggling, and I don't think you just fix a struggling offense overnight. Until I see the Eagles do something otherwise, I think they're going to struggle to score in this one. I take the under 21.5 for their team total.
Yeah, Joseph, what do you think of that breakdown? I felt it was a bit Wager Talk Today-ish.
Oh, well, I'll just throw this at him. It's 7 of 12 games, Steve, this year. They have not scored more than 21 points. So they are, to your point, they are anemic, to say the least. They also lead the league in 3 and outs. So nothing, Lane Johnson not in this game. It's amazing to me that a tackle can be that important to the success, not just this year. Like you go back to 2022, and I think 66% of the games that he hasn't played in, they can't score. It's amazing to me how much he means to this team. And yet I'm not sure that the Chargers defense, who gives up the fewest 20 or more yard plays, explosive plays than any team in the NFL, I don't know how they go in there and expect to flip a switch and go. I can't look at the over. Defensive touchdowns and all, but this feels like a Harbaugh game, Prez. This is exactly the kind of game where Harbaugh is like hand left, hand right, take the air out of the ball, and we'll beat you 13-7 and be very happy in doing so.
Yeah, and I'm confused at this number. I mean, this reminds me of the Jacksonville-Indianapolis game here, where you have, that first impression lasts kind of concept. We had Philadelphia win the Super Bowl last year. We had Philadelphia go on a nice run to start the season, and people just can't get out of their mind that this Philadelphia team is, the Super Bowl champs. This is not the same Philadelphia team that we've seen. This team is lacking chemistry offensively at a very high level. Yep. They're really struggling to move the ball. Jesus, man, they even fumbled on their famous tush push last week. I don't understand why San Diego is the dog here at San Diego. The LA Chargers are the dog here. I think the Chargers are the play, Joe and Steve. Yep. I think that the Philly's a false favorite.
No arguments, Dave.
I wouldn't disagree with the false favorite narrative. I mean, if you look at what these teams have done in recent weeks, the Chargers have played as well, if not better. They've won 4 of their last 5 straight up. Eagles have dropped back-to-back games. I think part of it, Prez, is like, well, it's the defending Super Bowl champs. A team that had won like 24 out of 28 up till a month ago is off back-to-back losses, but they're legitimate losses. 21 points, 15 points against the Bears. And let's not forget, Chicago has a bad defense, and the Packers put up a good amount of points yesterday. One thing I will point out, guys, is the Eagles had 4 turnovers the last 2 games. Turnovers do sometimes, randomly turn around. But this is a tough trip also, coast to coast, Monday Night Football. Not that LA has a huge home contendency. Yeah, I don't disagree, Prez. I think the Chargers are probably a live dog in this one. But, hey, look, a teaser play, taking them to plus 8.5 is really attractive to me. 2.5 up to 8.5. Excellent teaser, and it should be a low-scoring game with a total of 41.5. And we just mentioned the reasons why we all kind of lean under. Chargers teaser at plus 8.5 makes a lot of sense. And, of course, you'd have to tie that up with the game later next weekend.
We're going to need a second leg for that, guys. So I will I'll throw out Cincinnati. They are plus 2.5 at home, hosting a Baltimore team that, just can't get out of their own way. So perhaps you might want to parlay it with Cincinnati. I would stay away from Washington. How about the Bears in
a win situation, Prez, at home against Cleveland?
Yes, I just saw that
down
too.
To 1.5 against Cleveland. I mean, they can't lose that game, right?
Yep. No.
Yeah, there you go. I think there's some opportunity right there for you guys. That's a nice catch, Steve Merril. Okay, guys, Steve Merril, you haven't seen him on the show before. One of the best handicappers on the planet, having an outstanding NFL season right now. And you can find him over at wagertalk.com. An incredible handicapper and a better dude. That's for sure. There's a picture of him from 1983. Welcome to the show, Steve. Guys, hit that like button.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Now that's a better picture.
More like me?
That's
Which
a
one looks
picture
more
from
like
1993.
me? That's when Prez called me, Joe, on Saturday and told me I had to do the show today. That was a live reaction when I found out I was doing the show today. And I calmed down. I had about 48 hours to regroup and realize I could put up with this for 30 minutes.
You can do it.
Joe Ranieri, my emotional support dog, Joe Ranieri, would be here.
Yes.
And there would be a buffer.
Yep.
This is part of the deal. I could not be next to Prez. So there's a buffer.
There you go. That was
what we call
in
the business
the
of
contract.
Yes.
I need Joe, even though Steve is in Virginia, Joe's in Florida, and Prez is in Toronto.
Right.
I still need Joe Ranieri in between the two of us.
That is correct.
I go, Prez has a fluffer. I need a buffer. And this is how
there
it rolls.
You go.
That's
there
it.
You go.
Well, at least Prez isn't a fluffer.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. I knew that was going to Joe.
That
He told me to be a smart arse. He told me.
We got lots of show left to go, guys, so stay with us. But I do have a public announcement to make, Joe.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it turns out that my ex-wife does watch some of these shows.
Oh, no, Debbie.
So,
they get expensive.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, guys, because I'm going to make a public announcement so you all understand. Last week, there was a person who commented named Debbie Head. And I pointed out that my ex-wife's first name is Debbie, but her last name is definitely not Head.
Yes.
Well, she heard about this and was upset. So I would like to look into the camera.
Okay, hold on.
And say,
she was upset
Debbie,
she wasn't. Go ahead.
Debbie, I'm sorry. You definitely do not suck.
Oh, I can't.
This is where we need the council.
Well, you knew it was going.
Wager Talk Council is.
Yep.
The payroll's clicking, Joe, for the Wager Talk Council on retainer.
There you go. I've apologized to my ex. We move on now.
Look at that. Legal made you do that.
Yes, just to make sure everyone understood.
It's like in Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby kept saying, "With all due respect, you suck."
Yeah,
but I said with all due respect. Yes. It's in the Geneva Convention.
Yes. Oh, Steve Merril. We got to go through what did we learn. I'll throw some teams out, but let's open it up to you. So anything, you could talk college football, you could talk NFL. If anything stood out to you, you could talk about the fact that Pete Carroll is clearly a better, whatever you want. And then we'll go through some teams afterwards. So the mic is yours.
Yeah, now I'm going to talk about Fading the Public's been extremely successful in a moment, but you said college football, so I got to jump into that. I'm watching the selection show live yesterday at noon Eastern, and ESPN, all these different metrics they use, and every one of them had Notre Dame stronger than Miami. Their football power index, their quality games, their strength of schedule, their strength of opponent's schedule, all these things had Notre Dame as the better team than Miami. And, of course, they put Miami of Florida in. And Joe Ranieri and I talked about this on Saturday evening, and Joe got a big chuckle out of it. And I said, what could go wrong when you have 13 anonymous voters who have no accountability in a room making selections?
Yep.
They can do whatever the hell they want. And Miami of Florida, coming in this week in the All-State Playoff Predictor, had an 11% chance of making the postseason. I kept thinking to myself, how do they have any chance of making the postseason? They've been behind Notre Dame every year in the polls. Neither one of them is playing, including last week's playoff poll. And then you have Duke, Virginia. Virginia wins as a favorite. They get in. Of course, they don't win. Anyway, long story short, Miami is in, and they do this stuff on purpose. They put Alabama in at number 9 when people thought they might not get in at all. Don't fall for it. And I'm falling for it because I'm talking about it already. They do this for you to talk about it. It's the same reason we only had 2 teams and then only 4 teams for a decade in the playoffs when they could have been doing this all along. And it's the same reason we don't currently have 16 teams like we should, and we probably will within the next few years. Also, it's ironic to me that Tulane, James Madison, the 2 automatic qualifiers, are huge 2.5, 3 touchdown dogs. Both their head coaches have already taken other jobs elsewhere, but they're going to stay and coach. And the JMU coach is going to UCLA. He can just stay on the West Coast after they lose at Oregon. The Florida coach is coming into JMU, but he won't coach this game. Tulane coach is leaving for Florida. It's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with the college football playoffs. And the one thing I will point out is Georgia's sitting pretty right now. They're getting the winner of the Ole Miss-Tulane game. The 2 lame duck programs right now, but they will have to play Ohio State in the semis, probably be eliminated then. As far as the NFL, though, I want to point out how Fading the Public continues to work. I mentioned this in my video every week. It's been over 60% consistently all season. And the 4 official public plays yesterday afternoon, you went 4-0 fading them. I got my list right here. Browns lost outright. Buccaneers lost outright. Broncos failed to cover by half a point. And the Bears failed to cover by half a point. You know, last week, Fading the Public went 3-1, and all 4 teams won straight up, but only one of the 4 covered. Yesterday, 2 of them missed by half a point. This is why Fading the Public works long-term, because you get extra line value, especially later in the season in December. The official public plays, if you fade them this year in my video, now 39-23. It's really worked well, and I think it'll continue to work here, guys, in the month of December.
Joe, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. Let's talk about Houston. I'll start with those two teams. How good are the Bills moving forward? This is a team that could have lost easily to Cincinnati yesterday, really didn't have it together. And the game turned on 2 interceptions. What did you learn about the Buffalo Bills yesterday?
Bet him at home. Josh Allen is very dangerous at home in Orchard Park, and we saw it again yesterday. That's what makes this team very difficult to bet against this time of year and moving forward. It's what makes them dangerous in the postseason. Although they haven't exactly been great on the road, even though Kansas City kind of blew any chance they had of getting back to the playoffs last night. And, Buffalo's still going to have a long road ahead of them, but Josh Allen showed you why he was the MVP last year and why it is you just can't count the guy out. It would be great if he could play a first half. Would love him if he played a first half, Merril, because Josh Allen, apparently the Bills, they only want to play in the second. They literally need to be punched in the face first, and then they come out in the second half like, all right, we're just screwing around. We're ready to go. And as far as Houston goes, who are you beating with that offense? Exactly. Who are you beating? That was a tie game going into the fourth quarter, 10-10, when everybody watching that game last night should have been like, this should be like 24-0 right now. Yeah. And it was 10-10. And if Andy Reid didn't all of a sudden channel his inner Dan Campbell and let's go for it on 4th down and 4 from our own 30-yard line, I don't know why you're making the short field for an offense that can't get out of its own way. But they ended up coming back and biting them. But congrats on the 5-game winning streak. Good defense. I wouldn't exactly say it's the Ravens defense of like at some point they're going to have to score, Merril. I'm not buying Houston. I really am not.
Well, I was going to say, guys, I mean, if you're Buffalo, and I know a lot of Buffalo Bill fans, you got to be pretty excited about Kansas City, even though Kansas City's not any good this year, being out of the picture. Yeah. Who do you worry about now? The Denver Broncos, who win every game by 3 or less, all defense, no offense. The Houston Texans, all defense, no offense.
Correct.
I mean, I think Buffalo's offense is better than those defenses, even though Buffalo has some severe defensive problems. I'm not sure those teams can exploit it. And you're worried about Jacksonville, who's now a 68% favorite to win their division.
Yep.
I mean, and the Colts, they're out of the picture now with the quarterback injuries.
Yep.
I think you got to talk pretty good for a Buffalo team.
Yes. Well, and keep in mind, guys, Buffalo had a 1% chance of winning that opener with 4.5 minutes to go against Baltimore. And the Ravens played their way out of the playoffs yesterday. They've got about a 28% chance because they control their own destiny. But I think they play, Detroit, New England. They play a tough schedule
too. Yep.
They do get Pittsburgh at the end, but I know a lot of Raven fans, obviously, as well. And they were pretty depressed yesterday the way that game turned out.
And they should be.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, you did not mention the Patriots, which I think are going to be Buffalo's real key challenger moving forward. Buffalo is at -1 against New England this week, a total of 49. I want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs here, guys, and Green Bay and Denver really quick, because Green Bay is favored in Denver and Kansas City is -4.5 on the look ahead. I mean, not technically a look ahead, but the Chargers haven't played yet. Steve, I'll go to you first. Why the hell is Kansas City favored here? What am I missing?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. So this is saying that the Chiefs are worse than we thought they were last week. I think after last night, we'd agree. They have like a 16% chance of making the postseason now. Yet the line is going to be higher against the Chargers than it was against the Texans. The Texans do have the best defense in the NFL, but I just mentioned that Chargers give up only 21 points a game, just over 5 yards of play. They probably have the better offense. Yes, there's some uncertainty with Herbert. I guess maybe a points factored in if he breaks his hand worse tonight. I don't know. But, yeah, no, like Kansas City was in a really good spot last night, as you know, Prez, and they still lost outright. Yeah. I would say they're on the do-not-touch list right now.
Joe?
I think, first of all, Chargers win tonight. You're going to wake up tomorrow, and that line is going to be totally different. Also, I think they are counting on getting 2 of the 3 offensive linemen back next week. So I think that's probably factoring into it. But that whole line is, I mean, I'm seeing nothing but tickets and money on the Chargers, and it hasn't moved off 4.5, which is what it was overnight. So I think once the Chargers, if they win this game here tonight, I think we'll wake up. This thing will be much closer to a field goal than anything else tomorrow.
Guys, you're watching the best betting show ever. I'm Lawrence Presman, Joe Ranieri with us, Steve Merril sitting in Brian Powers' seat. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and make sure to comment. Steve, we're going to get into our parlay of the day. I will go first. My leg is on under 6.5 goals in the Tampa Bay Toronto Maple Leaf game. Yes,
Ooh.
I know there's a backup to a backup in net with Toronto. I don't care. We're taking under 6.5 in the Leaf game. Steve, you do not need to explain your bet. Just tell us what it is.
So I'm still finalizing my NBA card. It looks like I might have a couple best bets tonight, but I'm going to give you a little sneaky parlay here. We talked about it earlier, and it was a two-team teaser, because technically a two-team teaser is a parlay. And I do think the Chargers tonight make an excellent teaser at +8, 8.5. And, of course, you've got to tie that up with something this weekend in football.
Steve.
And I referenced it earlier. Chicago Bears -7.5 at home against Cleveland. Get them down to -1.5. Basic straight-up win situation, which one of the best point spread teams in the league, coming off a loss. I like the Chargers Bears 6-point teaser / parlay tonight and next Sunday.
So, Joe, we will forgive Steve for not understanding the segment.
Good to go.
So, guys, you're getting two picks in this segment.
Parlays, yes.
Yes.
You got two
You're
parlays
getting
of the day.
Steve's personal teaser of the day, separate. And you're getting the parlay of the day, which we're going to start again. Steve, we need one leg in a parlay. I go, you go, Joe goes, and then we have a 3-team parlay.
See, I didn't. So Prez, only gave one pick. Joe, as you know, my part of the contract is that, like they do in the jury room, they automatically mute Prez in the audio. So I thought he gave two picks. So that's my bad.
Totally reasonable.
All good. All makes sense.
Totally reasonable. Hey. Welcome
to
the best betting show ever. You're getting a bonus teaser today, everybody.
Right, and that was. I always give more than the people deserve, and I did it there. And I once again, he was muted this whole time, but I'm able to read lips.
Yes.
So he said I need to give one leg. I'm going to give.
Hold on. Let me start this whole thing. Well done. Here we go. Prez, parlay to use, because I don't remember what the hell you chose, Prez. So you start it, and then we'll go to Merril. Go ahead. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, our parlay of the day. Just to let you all know, we won our NFL parlay of the day yesterday. I'm going with leg one, the under in the Toronto-Tampa Bay game. Steve Merril, let's try that again.
Prez, best of luck with your MLS pick. I love soccer. I'm going to go with the under 21.5 team total with the Eagles tonight. They've scored 21 or less in 6 of their last 8 games. I think it happens again tonight.
I like it. Joe?
All right. Boom. Give me University of Pennsylvania to get it done against Lafayette here. 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight. You can even lay to 6.5. I think you'll be good to go.
There you go, everybody. A 3-team multi-sport parlay. Steve, do you want to hang out with a bad beat segment? If not, you can leave. It's your choice.
I'll hang out. Hey, I'm doing wager talk today in like 50 minutes. I got nothing else to do.
Boom.
Okay, so bad beats, bad bets. Look, I spoke about the fact that I was on the under in the Denver game, and I was just so horrible. I don't understand how I lost that under, but I watched it go down. It was painful, but it's over and done with. I don't think and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong here. I think it might be one of a historical bad beat. That's what I think. Look, I didn't have much money on it, so it wasn't like a bad beat that cost me a lot. But as far as everything that could possibly go wrong in a final 3 minutes of a football game, between the fact that, had Vegas have scored the first touchdown one play later, Denver could take the knee. Denver then gets sacked. They miss on the 4th down. The idiot Surtain lying on top of the other guy, grinding him because he was horny. I don't know. Pete Carroll needing extra money. I would say that was one of the most historical bad beats I've ever seen in my life. And that's all I'm going to talk about. Other than that, I needed Tampa Bay on the money line. A made-up 2 pass interference calls cost me, but with that said, Tampa did not deserve to win that game anyway. Joe?
That really was epic. Well, there were a couple of very close calls here. I mean, I, for one, Merril, am ecstatic that Duke ended up pulling that game out against Virginia to throw the committee into total chaos, which is exactly what needed to happen there. But that could have gone either way, that game. Duke was doing a really good job right up until Virginia tied it late. And then Virginia, depending on where you got them, 2.5, 3, going to overtime, they had a chance to pull that out. But interception on that first play in overtime was the end of that. And for the love of God, will Tennessee and New Orleans, and will you guys stop winning games? Like, there is a number 1 draft pick coming up in real soon here, guys, that could really change the franchises, and you guys continuing to win games as if it matters. Like, please stop winning games if you're New Orleans, if you're Tennessee. And the Jets finally figured that out yesterday, by the way, Merril. They finally figured out that, let Miami keep winning games. We're good to go here.
Yeah, New Orleans
well, Joe,
didn't get that
actually. This is one of the best good beats ever in draft pick history. Was 2 years ago. We saw it play out last night. The Houston Texans had the number 1 pick a couple seasons ago. They decided to win their final meaningless game. Fall to the number 2 spots. Give the Carolina Panthers the number 1 pick to take Bryce Young. Talented Bryce Young out of Alabama.
Yeah.
And the Texans fall to number 2 and get C.J. Stroud, who, as he said numerous times in the pregame and postgame interview last night, we just want to get a dub. Yeah. We just want to get a dub. Thank God we got a dub.
I don't.
So, you never know. But from a betting angle, though, Prez, it is something important to point out. Teams don't quit, right? And we saw the Saints win yesterday, like Joe said. Teams don't quit in December. And playing ugly underdogs in December is a really good strategy long term.
Yep.
Yes. Agreed.
Yep.
Steve, that was excellent, man. I really thank you for doing this with us today, brother. And if Brian Power decides to miss more shows, I'm happy to call you and have you fill in. What do you got to promote?
It's always fun to sit in Brian Power's seat. It's a little pointy. I'm not sure what's going on in this seat.
Yes.
So it's probably a good thing I'm leaving sooner than later. But hey, otherwise, very enjoyable.
What do you got to promote, Steve?
So I will be on Wager Talk today around 12:30 Eastern with Andy Lang, the great Andy Lang, and I'll be talking more about the Monday night game. I've also got a free NBA play, which I will give out in that Wager Talk segment. And more importantly, check out the free play videos. I do every primetime game. The Amazon Prime games are 11-3 this year. We had the Lions on Thursday. Got a free video for tonight's game, Eagles-Chargers. I gave you every college football conference championship game last week, all 9, and I gave you free plays in 12 of the 14 NFL games. That's 21 of the 23 football games were free last week on Wager Talk TV and on my page at wagertalk.com. And I'm going to give you every single bowl game this season in video form. So click subscribe, click the bell for instant alerts, thumbs up, like, comments below, and we will keep the videos coming. And once again, check out that daily free play along with my best bets on my page, stevemerrillwagertalk.com, and get there quicker with that shortcut you see on the screen, wt.buzz/SM.
There we go. Steve Merril, everyone.
It is amazing. 21 of the 23 games free. What am I doing?
Boom!
What am I doing? I've calmed down, though, after I realized what I did. That was my reaction. But seriously, though, these TV leans that we're talking about, 1% of bankroll, right? If you want my strong best bets, 4% of bankroll, then go to wagertalk.com. But otherwise, lots of great information here on Wager Talk TV.
Oh,
that's for sure. Thank you, Steve
Thanks,
Merril,
boys.
Joe Ranieri.
Appreciate it.
We got lots of shows still left. We got our NBA rundown coming up, NHL rundown, college basketball rundown. No mailbox segment on Monday. Joe, before we get into any of that.
Oh, no, you're not. Are you doing the business? Is this the business? I'm still over.
Business. Yeah, look at the pit stains, dude.
Yeah, that was
it's
awful.
Horrible.
Oh.
That's quite the outfit, though, dude. Come on.
It really is. Where's the pits in that one?
That's so sick, that outfit, man. I look so good. Guys, I had a monster day yesterday betting the NFL. I went 5-2, but one of my losses was the under in the Denver game, which was handicapped perfectly. I've won my last 4 NFL betting cards. I'm on an 11-4 run in the NFL, and I have 2 bets for you guys tonight in the NFL. I also have 2 NHL bets and 1 college basketball bet. So check me out over at wagertalk.com. I feel like I'm going to have a big night, 5 plays altogether, happy with a 4-1. Let's all win together. Joe, what do you got going?
Monday Night Football bet locked and loaded, and I do have one in college basketball as well, and I am about to fire what looks to be a 5% best bet in the NFL for Sunday. So working that out right now as we speak here, Prez.
There you go. Okay. We got the 3 rundowns to go, 2 minutes each. Put the clock on. You're first. Let's get to it.
All right, Brad, we're going to start with the NBA rundown. Just 3 games on tap here as we get ready for the NBA Cup. The knockout round tomorrow with 2 games. But the first game up here tonight is going to feature the Sacramento Kings on the road taking on the Indiana Pacers. And, well, Sacramento not getting a whole lot of love in the market here. They're getting 3.5 points. And I believe they have only won one time, I think, the Kings have won back-to-back games this season. They just came out of Miami shooting 53% in that 127-111 game on Saturday night. Zach LaVine dropping 42 versus the Heat. Yeah, well, the good news is he's probably not going to be a Sacramento King for very much longer anyway, as the trade deadline will approach and he'll be wearing a different uniform. But Indiana at home has been very, very competitive. Pascal Siakam is available from what I understand here in this game. And yeah, I think they are a favorite for a reason in this game. I still like Indiana to get it done against Sacramento. Then you have Minnesota looking to avenge an earlier loss to the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix, no Devin Booker, hasn't been going as well. They've kind of come back down to reality here a little bit. Minnesota was 9.5. They're now a double-digit favorite. I like Minnesota in the first half. They like to play with their food in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. I think Minnesota comes out and boat races them early. And then New Orleans getting 9.5 against San Antonio. This is now the 6th or 7th game now on the road for San Antonio. I don't love them in this spot laying this kind of number. And yes, I know, no Zion, but who cares? They have been competitive. They are at home. Wouldn't shock me if that game's a little bit closer than people think here tonight, Prez.
Joe, NHL brother, Toronto's playing at Tampa Bay. I told you at the beginning of the show in the Parlay of the Day segment, I really like the under in this game. This is a client play. You can get 6.5 out there. I understand Toronto is playing a backup goaltender, actually a backup to a backup. That doesn't matter. I've been riding the Toronto under for 2 straight weeks now. This team has turned it around. I do lean on Toronto in this game. I just don't love it because Tampa Bay's lost 3 in a row. Also, we'll be looking towards the Tampa Bay-Montreal game tomorrow. I think if Tampa Bay loses this game, they might be a really good bet tomorrow. Buffalo and Calgary, I'm looking for under in this game as well. There's a couple of 6.5s on tap. There's also a 5.5. Do not bet under 5.5 here, but take under the 6.5. Take under 6 if you'd like. Los Angeles playing Utah. Great spot for the Kings tonight. They're roughly pick 'em plus 105. Utah's in a real bad spot scheduling-wise. I think Los Angeles gets it done. Detroit going into Vancouver here, and I'm going to look at betting the under in this game. It's 6.5 on tap. This Vancouver team, they're just struggling, and Detroit will play down to their opponents. I could see this being a 3-2, 3-1 hockey game. And anytime Minnesota is involved, look to take the under. They're playing Seattle. I know it's 5.5, and I normally don't bet 5.5. But, man, this Minnesota team, from an under perspective, is free money. So let's not overthink it. Just take the under. Joe, what do you got going in college basketball?
Well, Prez, it is another light night there in college hoops as well. And one of those games I talked about for the my part of the parlay of the day, and that is going to be UPenn at home taking on the Lafayette Leopards here. And call me crazy here, Prez, but it feels like this line is continuing to rise. It was 5, 5.5, 6, now 6.5. Wouldn't shock me if this continues to rise here. And while Fran McCaffrey and his UPenn team, they were a little outmatched by Hofstra and Villanova the last couple of games, but I don't see how they're going to be outmatched here. They have a legit three-point shooter here in Ethan Roberts. I think he's hitting 41% on the season. He's actually the 13th ranked three-point shooter nationally here. It feels like Penn's going to get right in a hurry. Can't trust Lafayette in this spot, and I have no reason to believe that they're going to do anything here except get in the way of UPenn. I like them to run away with this game, especially at home in the second half. I would be a little bit weary here about laying these monster numbers with teams like Texas and Kansas State right now here. Both these teams dealing with some issues, and focus may not be the best thing. You know, we're getting to be that time of year in college hoops, Prez, where classes are about to be let out, you know, exams being taken, not exactly focus-driven or great crowds in college basketball this time of year. And I doubt very much the Southern Jags are going to bring a whole lot to the arena here at the Moody Center with the Texas Longhorns tonight. I would be careful laying 22-23, and I certain wouldn't be laying nearly 40 points with Kansas State here tonight. So tread carefully in the month of December when it comes to college basketball, Prez.
There we go, Joe. Great show, man. Lots of show left this week. We got our Caesar coming for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This show goes live every single day around 12:30 Eastern time on wagertalk.tv. Please comment, please like, please subscribe. Really excited about my card tonight. I know you are too, Joe. Let's all win together, everybody, and we'll see you all tomorrow.